Come on,
Now
mate.
we got an interesting matchup. I kind of thought Duke versus UNC would have been here and we would have had a one versus two, but after talking it out, Tyler, Barcelona versus Real Madrid makes a lot of sense. I'm kind of torn on this one because part of me wants to say, oh, the global scale of it, the history, um, how competitive it is,
Well, let me say one thing before.
recurring, I guess the recurring repetitiveness, that
Right. You
competitiveness.
said something in the last round where people buy, players obviously compared to college recruiting. Name another two teams that try and outbid each other on players.
Yeah.
That's the Yankees versus Red Sox. They do it every year. They go after the biggest names because they're trying to be better than that other team. I mean, granted, Barcelona and Real Madrid probably do it to a scale, but there's also, you know, players that aren't going to go to Barcelona or players who aren't going to go to Real Madrid where
Hmm.
people want to play for the Yankees and the Red Sox. And they will do whatever it takes to outbid the other team just to piss them off. That's how heated this rivalry is.
Right, and if you go from like one team to the other, like Johnny Damon, for instance, after all he did for the
You're
Red
cursed.
Sox, they just kind of spit on him after he went to the Yankees. Which again, yeah, I was gonna say, being a little bit selfish. When I think sports rivalries, Tyler, the number one thing that pops into my head is Yankees Red Sox, and at the same time, even though baseball, American baseball, isn't international the way soccer is, I think if you ask anyone from a different country who knows American baseball a little bit, like name one team, it's going to be Yankees or Red Sox. I mean, these are the two historic pinnacle teams of the MLB. And again, like I said, being a little selfish, this is just what I think when what comes to mind when sports rivalries are mentioned.
Yeah, I think this is one of the juiciest rivalries there is. I mean, like I said before, if there was one game that you would want to see Yankees, you would say Red Sox. Where, I mean, I feel like you could say, hey, who do you want to see Barcelona face? It might not always be Real Madrid. It might be PSG. It might be Chelsea. It may be Dortmund. You
Yeah,
never
yeah.
know because it depends on who's good that year. But when it's the Yankees versus Red Sox, you're not only going up against that city. You're not only going up against the past. You're not only going up against, Boston or New York City.
Hmm.
You're going up against those fans. You
Yeah.
hate the opposing fans. I hate Red Sox fans more than any other fans in the United States, in the world. I just think they're all assholes, and they probably
Well,
think the same of me as a Yankee fan. But that's just the way it is. That's why we're
yeah.
rivals.
Sorry, not sorry, Red Sox fans, but Tyler and I are in agreement. No coin flip here. New York Yankees versus the Boston Red Sox is the No Look Podcast number one sports rivalry. Tyler, I think that went pretty well. We only had one coin flip, which shouldn't have been a coin flip, but I'm not going to get into that.